In Part 1, The Question of Suffering. Have you ever whispered to yourself, "Why me? Why do I have to suffer so much, while others seem to live such easy, beautiful lives? Why do some people wake up every morning with laughter, while I wake up with worry, loneliness, or pain?" Sometimes it feels unfair, doesn't it? As if life has secretly chosen favorites. You look at people who lie, cheat, or hurt others, and yet they succeed. They are loved. They are comfortable. And you wonder, is life unjust? Maybe you've lost someone you love deeply. Maybe your body hurts every day. Or maybe your heart feels empty even when surrounded by people. When the world seems so random, so unpredictable, our minds naturally search for answers. But what if nothing that happens to you is truly random? What if every joy and every sorrow is part of a law so silent, so precise, that even time itself must bow before it? Buddha taught, everything arises from causes and conditions. He didn't speak of fate or punishment, but of understanding. Because when we understand the why, we can transform the how we live. So today, let's not complain about the unfairness of life. Let's walk together into a deeper question. What is the real cause of my suffering, and how can I be free from it? Take a slow breath and let your heart open. This is not about belief. It's about seeing clearly. It's about awakening, right here, in this very life. Part 2. The First Noble Truth. Understanding Suffering. Pain is something we all try to escape. We run from it, hide from it, cover it with distractions, money, work, entertainment, even relationships. But no matter how fast we run, pain always finds a way to meet us again. Buddha taught, life is suffering. Many people hear this and think, how negative, how sad. But Buddha wasn't a pessimist. He was a scientist of the human heart. He didn't say it to make us hopeless. He said it so we could understand why we suffer, and more importantly, how to end it. Look carefully at your own life. Pain wears many faces. The face of aging, when the body begins to change. The face of loss, when someone you love is no longer here. The face of loneliness, when silence feels louder than any noise. Even when life looks good from the outside, there is often a quiet ache inside the heart. It whispers, something is still missing. And what do we usually do? We blame life. We blame others. We blame God, fate, bad luck. But blame only keeps the fire burning. Buddha taught that pain is not a punishment. It is a messenger. A message that says, look deeper, don't escape, understand. When you stop running from your pain, you begin to see its shape. You see how it rises and fades like a wave, how it changes when you simply breathe and watch. Modern life tells us to stay positive, to think happy thoughts. But real peace is not the absence of pain, it is the understanding of it. Because when you understand, you are no longer trapped. You begin to see that suffering is not your enemy, it is your teacher. To see suffering clearly is the first light of wisdom. It is the beginning of freedom. So take another breath. Don't push your pain away. Hold it gently, like holding a crying child. Listen to what it's trying to tell you. Because seeing suffering is the first step to awakening. Part 3. There is no injustice, only cause and effect. Have you ever looked at life and thought, this just isn't fair? You see someone who cheats and lies, yet they rise higher than you. You work hard, you care for others, but life keeps throwing storms your way. It feels like the universe made a mistake. But Buddha taught something different. He said there is no injustice, only cause and effect. Every thought, every word, every action is a seed. And every seed will grow when the right conditions come. Some seeds bloom quickly in this very life. Others wait quietly in the soil of time until the moment is right to rise. When we suffer, it's not because someone above us is punishing us. It's because life is returning to us what we once gave to it, in thought, in word, or in deed. This is not meant to blame. It is meant to awaken. Because when you understand cause and effect, you stop asking, "Why me?" and begin asking, "What can I learn from this?" Buddha taught, the law of cause and effect helps us live without making ourselves suffer, without making others suffer, and without causing suffering to any being. Imagine the peace that comes when you stop fighting with life. When you understand that everything, every joy, every loss, every person, is part of a vast living web woven by your own past actions and choices. Then compassion naturally arises. Because if everything we experience comes from what we once created, how could we hate anyone? Even those who hurt us are only acting within the currents of their own unfinished karma. When you see this clearly, you begin to live differently. You choose your words with more care. You act with more kindness. You let go of bitterness. Because you know, whatever you plant, you will one day harvest. There is no need to fear this law. It is not cruel. It is perfectly fair. It gives back exactly what we give out. So if you wish for peace, sow peace. If you wish for understanding, speak with understanding. If you wish for love, live with love. No one is judging you. No one is deciding your fate. You are the author, the gardener, the builder of your own tomorrow. And when you truly realize this, you stop seeing life as unfair. You begin to see it as beautifully, quietly, and completely just. Part 4. Why bad people prosper and good people suffer. Have you ever looked around and wondered, why do some people who hurt others seem to live so well? They lie, they cheat, they step on others, and yet life keeps opening doors for them. While the kind, the honest, the gentle ones often walk through storms. It feels unfair, doesn't it? But Buddha taught, nothing happens without a cause. Every joy, every pain is the ripening of a seed we once planted. You see, karma is not a system of reward or punishment. It is the natural echo of our own actions. Some fruits ripen quickly. Others take seasons, even lifetimes. What you see as luck or misfortune is often just timing. A person who lives without kindness today might still be eating the fruits of good seeds planted long ago. Their harvest has not yet ended, but when those seeds are gone, their life will taste very different. And the good person who suffers now, they are not cursed. They are simply repaying an old debt. Each moment of patience, compassion, and forgiveness plants new seeds for the future, seeds of peace, clarity, and love. Buddha taught, the wise stop unwholesome actions, nurture wholesome ones, and purify the mind. He didn't say, be good so life will instantly reward you. He said, be good because it is the path to freedom. Let's make this simple. Imagine a kind woman who helps others, but people take advantage of her again and again. She feels invisible, even hurt. Yet if she keeps her heart gentle and her actions clean, she's writing a new chapter, one of quiet strength and peace. You can't always see it today, but peace grows in silence. Like seeds under the soil, you may not see them, but they are alive. And one day, when the time is right, those seeds of kindness will bloom. No one can stop them, because no one can escape the law of cause and effect. So if you ever feel that life is unfair, remember this truth. No good deed is ever wasted. No kind word disappears. Everything returns, in its own season, in its own perfect time. Part 5. Life is a process of giving and returning. Imagine life as a great invisible bank. Every thought, every word, every action is a deposit or a withdrawal. Whatever you give out, you will someday receive back. This is not a threat, it is a gentle truth, a law as natural as gravity. Some people call it karma, but it's easier to think of it as a spiritual balance sheet. You can't cheat it, you can't hide from it, but you can always choose what you invest next. Buddha taught that every cause brings an effect, and every effect becomes a new cause. The circle never stops until wisdom breaks the chain. So if someone hurts you, don't rush to anger. Take a breath. Maybe you're simply paying back a debt from long ago, a debt you don't remember, but one your heart still carries. And when you repay it with patience and understanding, the debt dissolves, like morning mist under the sun. This is why forgiveness is freedom. Not because the other person deserves it, but because it clears your own account. Every act of letting go is a deposit of peace into the future you are creating. Many people fear the word karma, thinking it means punishment. But karma is not cruel. It's like a mirror that never lies. It only reflects what we give it. If you smile at the mirror, it smiles back. If you frown, it returns your own sadness. Life works the same way. So the question isn't, how can I avoid karma? It's what kind of karma am I creating right now? When you choose kindness over anger, understanding over blame, you're not losing. You're settling your old debts and building a richer, quieter peace. Because in this great bank of life, nothing ever disappears. Every act, every word, every thought adds up. And one day, you'll open your balance and find only peace inside. Part 6. The meaning of suffering, pain as a doorway to awakening. Pain is not the enemy. It's the quiet teacher that life sends when words no longer work. Buddha taught to see suffering, to understand its cause, to end it. This is the path to freedom. He never said life should be without pain. He said, through pain, we wake up. Think of it. When everything goes well, we rarely stop to ask who we are or what truly matters. But when loss comes, when illness knocks, when someone we love is gone, our heart cracks open. And in that opening, something sacred begins to breathe. We start to see how fragile, how precious this moment really is. Some people say, suffering broke me, but maybe it was never meant to break you. Maybe it came to soften you, to teach you how to let go, how to love without holding. A person who has lost everything often learns to cherish every breath, every sunrise, every small act of kindness. Pain can do that. It strips away what is false until only truth remains. So don't be afraid of suffering. Be afraid of living without learning from it. When you meet pain, meet it like a wise friend. Listen to what it's trying to show you. Because once you understand your pain, you will no longer be owned by it. And that is the beginning of peace. Part 7. Seeing cause and effect in every relationship. Every person who enters your life comes for a reason. Some to give, some to take, and some to teach. Buddha taught that all relationships are born from causes and conditions. Husband and wife, parent and child, friend and friend, we meet because something within us has called each other. Sometimes that call is love, sometimes it is debt, sometimes it is unfinished lessons from another time. That's why even the people who hurt us are part of our awakening. They push the hidden pain to the surface so we can finally see it and heal it. But what do most of us do? We blame, we carry resentment. We say, "You made me suffer." Yet in truth, the moment we start blaming, we plant new seeds of suffering. The cycle continues until someone chooses to stop it. And you can be that one. By responding with kindness instead of anger, by forgiving instead of fighting, by understanding instead of judging. When you repay pain with compassion, the debt is cleared. When you choose peace over pride, the old chain breaks. That is how suffering ends, not through escape, but through wisdom. Buddha taught, to keep even one moral precept is to grow one seed of goodness, to lessen one act of harm, to end one layer of suffering for yourself and for others. So every day ask yourself, what kind of energy am I giving to my relationships? If you sow patience, you'll harvest peace. If you sow kindness, you'll meet kindness again. And if someone brings you pain, smile gently in your heart and think, maybe this is an old story, and today, it ends. Because the moment you choose understanding, the past loses its power. And what remains is freedom. Part 8. How to transform karma and reduce suffering. Every life has its storms. Losing a job, a broken relationship, an aging body that doesn't listen anymore. And sometimes it feels like life is punishing us. But Buddha taught, nothing comes to punish you. Everything comes to teach you. The question is, will you fight the lesson or will you learn from it? There are 3 simple steps to transform karma and find peace. 3 steps Buddha called morality, stillness, and wisdom. 1. Morality, living without causing harm. To keep morality doesn't mean following rules. It means living in a way that doesn't create more suffering for yourself or for anyone else. When you speak gently, when you act honestly, when you forgive quickly, you stop adding new pain to your account. Your heart becomes lighter. Your nights become quieter. This is the foundation of peace. 2. Stillness, seeing instead of reacting. When suffering knocks, most people react immediately. Anger, fear, blame. But when you learn to pause, to breathe, to simply watch your thoughts rise and fade, you begin to master the storm. Meditation is not about escaping life. It's about staying awake in the middle of it. You start to see, pain is not forever. It comes and goes like clouds passing through a clear sky. This is stillness, not numbness, but awareness without reaction. 3. Wisdom, understanding the truth of things. Wisdom is not knowing more facts. It's seeing life as it truly is. Everything changes. Everything is connected. Nothing belongs to us forever. When you see this clearly, fear starts to fade. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is life trying to show me? You realize that every experience, even pain, is part of the path toward freedom. So when you lose something dear, take a breath. Don't say, life is unfair. Say, life is teaching me impermanence. When you are betrayed, don't close your heart. Say, Life is teaching me compassion. And when your body aches, say, life is teaching me to let go. Every time you respond this way, you transform karma. Pain becomes wisdom, and wisdom becomes peace. Buddha taught, when one lives with virtue, practices mindfulness, and sees things as they truly are, suffering ends by itself. So remember, you don't need to escape your life. You just need to understand it. Because the moment you understand, you are already free. Part 9. Mindful Practice in Everyday Life. Peace isn't something you find on a mountain. It's something you create, right here, in the middle of ordinary life. When you breathe with awareness, you return home to yourself. Each breath becomes a gentle reminder. You are alive, you are here, you are safe in this moment. Try this simple practice. When you wake up, before touching your phone, just take one conscious breath. Feel the air enter your lungs and whisper softly, "Thank you for another day." Throughout your day, watch your emotions the way you'd watch waves in the ocean. Don't fight them, don't drown in them. Just observe, and they will pass. Buddha taught, when the mind sees clearly, it no longer reacts blindly. This is mindfulness, not to control your feelings, but to understand them. And from that understanding comes compassion. When you see someone suffering, try not to judge their story. You don't know what invisible war they are fighting inside. So instead of saying, "What's wrong with them?" try asking silently, "How can I send them peace?" A kind word, a patient smile, a gentle act. These are not small things. They are seeds of light you plant in the dark soil of the world. And every time you choose kindness over anger or silence over blame, you are transforming karma, right here in your daily life. So remember, you don't have to escape to be peaceful. You just have to be awake, breath by breath, moment by moment. That's how peace begins, quietly in the heart that simply remembers to breathe. Part 10. The law of cause and effect is always fair. Look closely at your life. Every joy, every sorrow, every face you meet is not a coincidence. Nothing in this universe happens without a cause. Life is perfectly fair. Buddha taught, no one punishes you, no one rewards you. It is your own mind that creates your world. We often say, life isn't fair. But if we look deeper, we realize life is not unfair. It is exact. It simply returns to you what you have sent into it. Not to harm you, but to show you yourself. When you understand this, you stop blaming. You stop fighting with the world. You start learning how to live with it, wisely, peacefully, awake. If you plant anger, you will harvest more anger. If you plant kindness, you will harvest peace. It's that simple and that profound. So don't fear karma. Use it. Understand how it works, and you can turn pain into wisdom, suffering into freedom. Because karma is not a prison, it's a teacher. Every moment gives you the chance to plant a new seed. Buddha said, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. So if you want peace, think peace. If you want compassion, think compassion. If you want happiness, share happiness. No one is unfair to you. Life is simply giving you back the energy you've sent out. Plant good seeds, nurture them with patience. And one day, the whole world will smile back at you.